Hey, how's it going? Well, let's darken this. Oops, darken it down a bit. Okay, I should be better. Okay, I'm back doing videos. Shamisens. It's all about shamisens today. I have a few shamisens that I'm selling that are kind of close to being ready. Actually, two of them are completely ready, and one needs a week or two of work on it. I'm making this actually for a fellow in the States, nice fellow in the States, who might be interested in one of my instruments. But I thought, oh, it's probably a good idea that I do something like this anyway. I probably should have polished the shamisens before I did, but who cares really? Oh, actually, let's turn on. I'm gonna turn on the light, and then we'll be off to the races. Okay, here we go. Let's see now. Where should I start? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start with this instrument here. This is a shamisen that I made for my project Goze in the foothills of the Himalaya. The body's a little bit smaller than what I normally do, and also the shape is different. You see how it's it's still rounded, but it's a little more square. You know, I wanted to use a piece of wood that okay, maybe this is too much information. A piece of wood that I kind of screwed up on. You know what I mean? Like the angles were just, I mean, with this instrument, if your angles on gluing the body together, the dough, are just like, I don't know, like a tenth of a millimeter off, you might as well just toss it away, you know? It's so precise. Anyway, so I just basically recut it, and it ends up being a slightly smaller body with a slightly different shape. And also, I made it thinking that I wanted it to be a little lighter in weight, you know, because I was doing a walk and carrying it and stuff. In the end, it is a little bit lighter, say, than this Jatoba instrument, but it's hardly any different. I'm going to show you this deang instrument, which isn't finished yet. It is somewhat heavier. It's probably half a pound heavier. Anyway, so let's go with this one. You can see the way the neck. This is something I've been doing and progressing with, and the last couple shamisens I've created this curved shape where the neck meets the dough. And on this one, it comes almost touching, virtually touching, you know? I really love that. I'll keep doing it. I used to make them in the more traditional manner, which is like this, which is nice too. But it's just straight across, right? Doesn't matter. I mean, with this, you can go a little higher. But actually, I sometimes even play it by pressing my finger on the dough here. Let's see if I can do it. I mean, it's crazy, but it's fun. Anyway, you can see. Let's just compare body shapes. So this is made from a wood called Maibradu, which is a Thai wood, and it's recycled. All the woods are recycled except the deang instrument here. One thing that I want to say, even though the body is when I say smaller, I'm talking like 4 millimeters, right? It's basically not noticeable, but the shape is quite noticeable. But the actual instrument itself is full size, like the neck is full size, everything is normal. Just jump here, you can see how this body is more rounded, eh? I like that shape a lot, actually. And the deang is similar, it's quite rounded too. Anyway, this Maibradu instrument that's not on my website yet, but will soon be, this is a 3-piece Mitsuori Sao. So it's meant to come apart, you know. So let's see if I can get close in on the joint so you can see. I mean, this is where you can become obsessive, and like if you have OCD, it's not the right instrument to make, you know, or to own probably. You can just see the slight, what you might call imperfections, but it has no effect on the sound or anything. Let's see the back. But anyway, I just wanted to make full disclosure so you can see what my joints are like. Pretty good, actually, I think. I've seen better, but that's okay. I can't even see that one on the video. Where is it? It's right there. Well, I guess because it's hard with the iPhone. Should keep it vertical. Yeah, there. Yeah, so not too bad, actually. Okay, so some details. Let's brighten it up a bit, maybe. Okay, because the wood's quite dark, this wood. This actually has straps attached to. Actually, both of the instruments that have skins on them have buttons for straps. Yep. You can see I use. It's a little whiter than it's showing because I have a yellow light. You know, I like the yellow lights. Anyway, so it's a little bit yellower than it is, but no matter. You can see that discoloration, eh? That's from, I'm using a high glue, a liquid high glue to glue it, old brown glue. It's really great. What it does do is it discolors the skin where it attaches. Right there, that's a bit more like it. See that, right? This dark, this gray is actually from follicles in the skin itself. You can see here though, this is from discoloration of the skins because the glue soaks through the skin. But it's great because it's high glue and it's gluing high. I think it's works really well, and for me it's easy to get. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so back to this one. I've got this nice dokake, the cover for the dough, which I make from a Japanese lacquered yuzu. I get it from the Japanese paper place in Toronto, but it's from Japan. You'd think I could, anyway. I got it from them. I just bought a big bunch at one time, and that's going to last me a long time. Anyway, so here's the neck, pretty much standard size. The pegs on this, the itomaki, are made of tamarind wood. It's really nice. It has a really nice smooth motion. You know, it doesn't. I mean, ideally they're not meant to grab, like, but this has this sort of almost creamy feel to it. You know what I mean? Anyway, and then up at the end here, you can see the bit of a detail there that I've carved in those lines there. And this also has a lacquered yuzu cover. This little detail down here that doesn't come with it. It's my own personal homage to Isan. This has a bone. The sawari is a rectangular type and has a bone insert. And what else? How about the back? Yeah, let's see the back. You can see how I've attached the sawari in there. It's an inset, sort of. It is inset, not sort of. And back here. Yeah, it's a really nice instrument. I love this instrument, actually. It's what I've been playing, but you know, I'm making more, and I need to get rid of them. I need to sell them. I'm not in big business, but I am trying to survive. So, and I'll just do a open string. You can hear it. A little out of tune. It's haven't played in a while. Yeah, that's way out of tune. Right. Anyway. Yeah, fun, eh? Right. Okay. Next step. Did I forget anything? I didn't think so. Oh, this has a bone. This is bone here. That's really nice, actually. I forgot that I'd put a bone, what we would call it in guitar land, nut there. Usually I use brass, like this one is brass. Anyway, just an interesting tidbit. Not too much metal parts on this instrument, actually, just right. The only metal part is what the sawari is made out of. And there's also metal screws, brass screws in where the buttons are. Okay, so enough of that. Let's switch over to the jatoba. This is the last instrument. Well, actually, I made 2 instruments before I left Canada, and this is one of those 2. And it's made from jatoba, which is Brazilian wood. See, it's quite a round dough. I quite like that round dough. It's a touch heavier, but hardly any difference. Oh, I forgot to mention this. This one, there was a tear and I glued on a piece of leather. So with this instrument, that comes with it. It's not a problem, but you know, it's not perfect. But if you're looking for perfection, maybe I'm the wrong person to look for. I don't care too much. I try to be perfect, but whatever. Anyway, so that's there. That's part of it. It's not an issue, but you know, you can see it. This instrument here and the My Bradu one are on. I've dropped the prices, right, because they've been sitting around a while, and I just want to get them out of the house into a new home. Anyway, this is a really nice instrument. Don't mind the tuning. I hadn't tuned this instrument in probably 2 months, so I just tuned it 5 minutes ago. Anyway, right. So here we go. So typical 3-piece neck. You can see in terms of full disclosure, there's a little notch here. I might try to fill that actually. It's just cosmetic, doesn't affect anything. But what happens is, you can see how minute that is. Like that's less than a millimeter. But just one tilt of the file while you're filing down those joints, boom, that's it, right? This one is a little better, but still an opening there, whatever. So the Jatuba is really nice. Let's check the back. I guess I should be not, anyway, whatever. The joints. Maybe before I'll shut the camera before I finish this and open up one of these shamisens so you can see what the joints look like. They're just basic, simple wood. There's no brass in there, nothing. The sawari is a round one, and sawari it's called. And with a brass kamigoma. Is it called? Oh jeez, I forget. Anyway, a brass nut. Now what's unique about this instrument is the Maidak Itomaki, which are the tuning pegs. It's really beautiful. Right. Oops. Yeah, okay. Maidak is extremely rare. Like, if someone wants, oh, I want the Maidak Itomaki, it's like, well, you gotta buy this instrument. I might be able to fit it on another instrument, actually, but it depends, you know, because each peg is fitted to each hole, right? But you can see, really beautiful. And with this, a friend, my dear friend Piad gave me this wood, and he says, oh, what do you want it? He says, oh, you'll probably never find another piece again, which is probably true, you know. So anyway, that's why this instrument, with these pegs, are $100 more, you know, because that's it. Anyway, oh, the back is a little different. See this ridge here? I've never done that before. That's unique. I've pretty much, one thing that Rob pointed out was, well, all your instruments are kind of unique. That's true. Anyway, one thing I could add is this tenjin, this part here. You see the shape? It's almost rectangular, and this one is much more fanned out. And with that, it's pretty. Putting a cover on makes sense. I might be able to try and fit one in here, but because of the shape, it might not hold. It might need to be glued. And anyway, one thing that's unique, that's not quite showing up so well, but shows up well in person, is that there's a piece added here called a snake beam. And the original pegs here, and they would fit here, are snake beam as well. So that's why that was matching. Yeah, so I guess anything else to this one? Yeah, it's a really nice instrument too. Oh, one thing I could say is this instrument, I put the skin on, the Kawahari. Oh, I was in at my friend's place in southwest Alberta near Pincher Creek, and you know, when I was there, until it got to about 10 below, I lived in my tent, you know, big beautiful cotton tent out in their back quarter. Well, not quarter, but anyway. And we called it Little Mongolia. Anyway, yeah. So that was skinned right there. Like I was in under the tent because I didn't want to be in the sun, but it was out, you know, looking out onto the wild plains and stuff. Maybe I'll put a picture there of where I was. Right. Okay, so these are the two that are ready to go. Right. This is my deang instrument. Now, when I first got here, these are the instruments that I started with, actually. And I bought this my deang from a shop, a great shop in Chiang Mai, but it's lumber. It's not recycled, right? But my deang is a really, really well-known wood here. It's very, very dense. Maybe not as dense as koki, which is a big-time Japanese wood for shamisen, but in that range, you know. But it has quite a beautiful grain, I think, you know. You can really see it on the dough as well. And keep in mind, it's shiny, but you know what they just sit around, and what I'll do is when someone gets one, then I'll just sort of polish it up again and oil it. It's just really beautiful. Kind of not glossy really, because I don't varnish them, I oil them with a camellia oil. It's just really nice, very traditional. Yeah, so the joints here are pretty good, right? Actually, the back ones especially. But there's a little, like this is a bit too much of a space, and this bit too much too. So what that means, that's a many number of days to try and get it just a touch tighter. Like we're talking about, I don't know, 0.5 millimeter at the most, right? But anyway, that's part of the process. Mitsuari sao takes a long time, I find. Oh, this is nice because you can see the joints. This is the inside of the dough is completely smooth. I think that oh geez, I can't remember. Anyway, I think that this one has a sort of chevron carving in it, and this one's plain too, I think. One thing I really want to point out though with this my deang, you see how the grain changes, eh? This is still from the one piece of wood. It's just that there ends up being a space, and that's how it ended up. I probably should have caught it, but I didn't, so that's what it is. So anyway, that's the reality of that. And this has a light colored wood of some sort in the sawari, which is again the rectangular one. Here's the tension. Yeah, this one I'm sure I could fit a cover, tension cover, and it would probably hold quite nicely. This instrument originally, you can see I glued a piece of tamarind here, and these tamarind itomaki are actually made for this. So I'm pretty sure I don't think I adjusted these. Well, it's hard to say. Anyway, I think I can transfer them over, or I could maybe make new ones. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Maybe I should add the glue here. It's not just butt glued, eh? It's I actually, how can I say? It's actually tapered. So this part of this my deang goes into the itomaki, probably into the dough here. So there's a lot of overlap. It's quite a strong connection. I'm not worried about it breaking or anything. Yeah. Let's see if we can see it inside there. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I like this instrument. Love the wood. This is the cover. I'm using this stuff completely for the cover. I have some. What do I have? I have a couple of colors, like one other color in this, and also green dragonfly pattern. Anyway, yeah. So the joints are good, they're strong. I guess that's about it. Right. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Right, let me stop this or maybe I can, okay, hang on. Yeah, okay, I wanted to show you the inside of what the Sao Morrison tendon joints look like. What you do is they kind of click in, and to open it, you kind of put pressure on the joint here and just tap the edge, right? And then it just, like, it's actually difficult to open just by pushing it. So you kind of tap the edge with your hand while you're doing that, and then it pops out. So here you go. Yeah, pretty basic. Sometimes pure. Let's say pure. Sometimes I've seen, the big time Japanese shamisens will have a brass lining and brass pins here. I don't do that. Mine's much more basic. if you want that, there's lots of places you can get that. Oh, the other thing that I do is with the itomaki, you know, the joins in there. You see how it's just in the wood, right? And I use a cello taper and reamer, so it's basically a cello pattern. A lot of Japanese shamisens will have a brass lining. It's really typical. And also a lot of Japanese shamisens will have a brass cover here. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what the high-end instruments are. I kind of don't do that, partly because I don't have that stuff, right? And at the moment, I don't know. I like it. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that for myself, I just like, just to keep it simple. How can I put this? Yeah, maybe I should, while I'm blabbering away here, I should try and do an overall view so you can see them all together. Yeah, so I try to keep things simple. I like simple. And that sort of reflects into my life as well, you know? Well, this is nice because you get to see where I work. This is the stream that just runs by the house. And I work outside here. It's great. One thing though, is I have a special room. Because it's so humid here. Yeah, well, let's have a look at the forest. Why not? Because it's so humid here, it's, for a lot of the year, it's really it's okay to work outside and stuff, but I always put everything like woods and tools back in. Like non-stainless tools will rust overnight here. It's incredible. But we're talking 85, 95% humidity at times, right? Like this time of year, it's the rainy season. That's what we're looking at. But maybe, actually, now this is going to be really quite long, but maybe I can show you my place. And this is the house where I live. I've got a few power tools here, like a drill press and a very consumer level bandsaw. And I gotta tell you, bandsawing that really dense wood is nutty. Anyway, it'd be really nice to get that really great strong bandsaw, but anyway, money is always an issue, and this is what I have. The drill press is totally awesome, we'll never change that. But anyway, this is just a job for what I need, right? And I don't use power tools much anyway. Pretty much just use hand tools. Right. And, oh, so this is the room, eh? See how it's all plastic? I line this room completely in plastic. And at this time of year, oops, let's lighten it up if we can. Oh, not really. Oh, it's so dark, eh? Anyway, at this time of year, I just pile all kinds of stuff in here. So it's not just tools and music stuff, but it's like drying my umbrella. Oh, I got some wood here, but like clothes and things I just put here because it's the driest room, you know. And I have a dehumidifier right here, right? Right. So this is my special room. This is where those shamisens are living. Let's see. Yeah, I do have. Oh yeah, you see, even if those itomaki, those tamarind itomaki, don't fit another instrument, I have these blanks I can probably do something with. Yeah. Anyway, I have this other shamisen. Oops, you can't really see it. It's too dark. But right here, basically another my deang shamisen. I didn't put it out there because I don't have a sawadi for it, and it's pretty much the same. Anyway, I made them both at the same time. I know you can't really see it, but oh, maybe there's hang on. Oh yeah, it's much better. I forget the iPhone has a light. Anyway, it's pretty much the same, but you can see I don't have the sawadi built in. Oh, and this is this is like that Maidak. In honor of my horse Dakota, who's now not with us, and who I went on my ride with, I made a instrument, what do you call it? An igil, or igili as they say in Western Mongolia. That's the Maidak. So that's why I have no more Maidak, because I made an instrument out of it. And that's not for sale. And someone wants to offer me a fortune, I might consider it, but probably not. Anyway, it's in honor of Dakota. And this is the other my deang shamisen. Yeah, so see, there's no sawadi on there. I don't have any sawadi right now. I don't need to order. If someone, I don't know why anyone would want that, except it has an interesting kind of randomly carved design. It's not that traditional chevron shape, but anyway, right. Irish. This is my Irish flute. My roots are Irish music, actually, and I played Irish flute. Played pipes a bit too. Anyway, and Irish flute playing comes out of the piping tradition. And this is my most recent kora. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I'm just balancing it so it's not in tune. But this is going to be a gorgeous instrument. Everything's for sale, of course. And this is my other kora that I've been around for a couple of months. Very similar size. I'm actually, because thinking of that other shamisen that I haven't listed, I'm probably going to list this kora as well. It's really beautiful. I've had it for quite a while. It has a elk hide skin on it, and I managed to do this really neatly when I was stretching it, so I just left that on. It's quite beautiful, and also it's the only kora I've ever dyed. This, however, is going to be really expensive. Like, I usually charge around 50,000 baht. It's like $1,500 in American money for the koras, right? This one's going to be more because probably no one will want to buy it, but I have a case. You can see, you see it, but right there, I made a case out of strips of bamboo and covered it with a kind of PVC cover. So that totally ups the price, right? So it's probably going to be in the 80 to 90,000 baht range. But I might as well put it on there because I'm trying to get through the year and stuff, and it's good not to be too hanger-on about your instruments. Yeah. Anyway, so this is my sort of workshop. I have some saws here. I have a tool chest. What else? Oh, this pipa my brother gave me from China when he was working there. Amazing. Play it now and then. I have an incredible mandolin my friend David gave me. There's some horsehair. That's Dakota's tail hair, by the way. Yeah. It's a whole other story. Oh, and this is the lacquered yuuzhan. Oh yeah. So I've got the red dragonflies. I could do that. I could do a special one if someone wanted it. And then also in the sakura cherry blossom pattern, which is what I have now, that red. I also have this green, which is a smaller pattern. Right, I guess that's it. I practice kendo and iaido, so I keep my swords here. And look at all my books. These are my books. Can believe some of them I brought from Canada as well. But I have to keep my books here, right? There's just no way around it. Because if I leave them outside this room, they just become soggy like rags and I guess start rotting away. So, I guess that's it. It's a bit of a mess, but I guess that's life in the rainy season. Oh, this is nice too. See this paper, eh? This is, in Ban Bosang, I guess it's called. They make these beautiful umbrellas here. Like, I have this red one. This red one. It's my rainy season umbrella, and they're all handmade, eh? Yeah, really beautiful. But while I was buying that one, I found this just piece of paper. They just had it rolled up and it was for sale. It's like I don't know, probably equivalent of like $2 or something. But probably this was laid out for a non-rainy season umbrella, maybe. I don't know, or maybe it was a pattern. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's really beautiful. Yeah. So I guess that's about it. Let's go outside. Yeah, so that's about it from the land of music forest instruments. It ends up being more than just a show of instruments, but a show of where I live and kind of how I live, I guess. Yeah. If you're interested in an instrument, please contact me. it's my least. I know I'm a pretty good builder, and I know that I have an interesting life and all that. So it's not like a mystery or anything. But one thing that is a mystery is selling things. Has never ever been good at it, right? But it'd be nice if I was. Whatever, I guess. Oh. Well, okay, I'll finish off with this one. My friend Ong, he says, well, you should get in touch with the Japanese community in Chiang Mai. Because Japanese people know what a shamisen is, which really helps with the selling, right? Anyway, although not really, because this fellow that just contacted me, he's from the States, Western States, I guess, and he's just discovered the shamisen, just came upon it, kind of like the way I did. That's I love that too, right? People just come and then, oh, it just speaks to them. You know, like when, especially the kora, people try the kora out and they just fall in love instantly. It's quite beautiful to see. But shamisen is quite similar in that way, I think. Anyway, so my friend Ong said, oh, you should get in touch. You should somehow advertise in the Japanese. You could probably make one shamisen a month. I'm like, a shamisen a month? Are you crazy? I don't want to be that busy. It's like takes a month to make one. Well, close to, I'd say. So anyway, gives you an idea. One other thing on my website, you'll see these shamisens that have skins on them already are reduced in price. This one I don't have a price yet, but it'll also be in a reduced rate. Like this one is in around, I have to figure out the conversion into baht, but around $700, and with the Mairak Itamaki 800. And this one will be probably in that $700 range too, in baht. I have to be careful with that because exchanges. Anyway, whereas this one, it's basically a new instrument. This is not for sale. Like, it's not cheaper. So this one, I haven't quite figured it out yet, but close to $1,000, I would guess. I don't know. Anyway, I guess it's negotiable and whatnot. It's a tricky thing with prices, right? Like my koras, I charge a certain amount, and that's exactly what I charge, right? And my koras are 50,000 baht-ish, which is close to 1,500 US, like I said earlier. And I don't really go down. I might drop it down a bit if it's local and it doesn't involve a lot of packaging for me and stuff and all that thing. But my koras are really beautiful and set. Whereas I'm still learning shamisen making. I think they're really great and everything, but I'm also not very well known with the shamisen making. But anyway, whatever, right? The thing is, like if this is $700 and this one's $8, now we're talking about money. It's not that comfortable to do, but it sounds like a lot, but it more or less takes me a month to make it. And there's probably, a couple $100 worth of materials. So it's like $500 for a month's work. Who does that? Only instrument makers will put up with that. Only an instrument maker will do that, I think. I guess it's more about passion than money. But one nice thing is living here, I can actually live quite cheaply, which gives me time to make not a lot of instruments. So I put a lot of focus. Like I said, each instrument's quite unique. And I spend a lot of time hiking, walking in the forest here and wherever, and that's a big part of my life and contemplating our place on the earth. Okay, anyway, I won't go into all that on this video. Okay, you can probably find some more of that sort of thing on my other videos. Okay, be sure to subscribe and hope everyone's doing great. Bye.